All of you are welcome to the group. I hope you become a subscriber by the end of this movie. In the past few days, there have been some very big updates and everyone is starting to worry because when we think about what these updates really mean, we all look at them and say, okay, that's it. Because of these news stories, we need to pump, right? That's the trouble though. While everyone waits for the price to move in a good way, anyone or anything will help them pump their bags. When we talk about these big news stories, we're not talking about how they will affect prices. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even want to think about price action right now because I know that any kind of big pump right now would be foolish given the state of traditional finance. You won't have to wait long for the pump. This is something I've said many times in the last month. I'm going to keep telling you that because even though things are looking good for crypto and not just because of the laws, usage is also beginning to pick up. Some of the biggest players in the market are starting to give a lot of services. There are also talks about tokenization and other great things are happening. Why prices are going down? Yes. When we look at the price action, I keep telling you guys, and I've said this since the summer before November. Do you remember how everyone was most gloomy at the start of November, around the end of October? It was a very bad time for the market, and I told them that we were seeing a lot of big news. It's all stress, putting more and more work into it while we wait for the right time for the price action to show us all of these big changes. The exact same thing is happening right now. Big moves are being made, but prices are still staying in one place. It's not fun. The result is bad. We're going to talk about why. Let's begin with the executive order, shall we? I did talk about this earlier today, where we did see Trump sign an order that lets the US Treasury update its payment system. This is a big one because it might have something to do with blockchain and DL 100%. It could mean, say, embracing new technology to make this possible. But we also saw that the XRP case was pretty much over. It all began on March 19th when Brad Garlinghouse made the big news. After that, Stuart Aderati sent out a report on this on the 21st. On top of that, the official news came out on the 25th that the case was over. Now, everyone thought that the price would go crazy and XRP would jump to $10 or $15. I want you to know that I have said many times that this is a big catalyst, but it doesn't mean that the price action will be positive. I will say this though, even though this case is finally over, this is still a big part of the puzzle. With this, there will be a lot more news and bigger changes than just price changes for XRP and Ripple. Do I think this will finally lead to price action that is good? 100%, but the problem is that this is happening while the market is generally down. Right now, this is how the price of XRP is moving. We'll talk about why in a moment. We did see a nice little pump, but nothing too exciting. This is the same as last month. This is the notice that the case is pretty much over. We went up to about $2.55. After that, we sold off, and now we're just wandering. We're back to $2.37 now, but the market as a whole is pretty gloomy right now, right? It's not just XRP. You know what? If we want to talk about how bad XRP is right now, we can. Join the band. Take a look at Bitcoin. This shows how the prices of XRP and Bitcoin have changed over the last year. This shows how the prices of XRP and Ethereum have changed over the last year. Also, this is BNB if we look at it. Also, Solana, do any of you guys notice something? People who own XRP shouldn't be upset at all. We are doing better than most of the market. Anything is fine to look at. Take Dogecoin as an example. We might take a look at ADA. The XRP price is killing it right now, guys. So I want to know why we are so negative about XRP right now. Is it because you were told everything would be fine when the XRP case was over? Someone told you that XRP would go to $10 right away when the case was over, but I didn't. I always told you it might be a spark, but don't get your hopes up. I'm going to tell you the truth. I still think that the way prices move will be very good. Now that this case is over, we just need to get through the market's current downtrend, which has nothing to do with crypto. The crypto market as a whole really does stink right now. The CMC 100 index is a way to measure the value of the 100 most valuable coins. These numbers are much lower now than they were at the beginning of December. We can see that we are in a Bitcoin market even if we look at the old coin season index picture. These are the gains for the top 100 coins. Guys, this market isn't really bullish right now. So why is it bullish? There is a price action statement that you should look at. If you thought this was going to be an announcement about price action or the case being closed, I have some bad news for you. It came out at the worst possible time for the market. However, we wonder why everything is being sold off. What makes things look bad? At least they weren't looking negative until around the 25th, right? Like the 24th or 25th. And this is because of talks about tariffs. There were more news about tariffs. And as I've said many times this month, you can watch many of my videos again. I've already said that markets will keep losing money until there is a big change in the way we talk about taxes, or until we just stop talking about them. Doesn't matter if you think taxes are good or bad. Doesn't matter at all. They don't do well in the market. Because we start to feel short-term pain, we can see that production is going down. It starts to happen. Sales go down, the supply line gets backed up. It's not immediately bullish, which is why markets are scared of it. And in the past month, though it's not really the past month yet, I'm going to tell you the truth. It goes all the way back to January when taxes were first officially announced. Okay, this market has been open since January, is down from about 106K. I believe the total amount is 110K. Yes, 109K. The market has dropped from 109K to around 80. The very low point for this one was 76.6K. As a result of the tariff talks and news, the market is down a lot. This is because a trade war is basically starting today. And this way too, right? That was at the start of March, where the US stock market lost $1.7 trillion. And it's funny because $1.35 trillion were added to the US stock market on the 24th. That's why the market looked pretty good back on, the 23rd or 24th. Like, this is that big jump from about $83,800 to almost $90,000. At that point, everyone was feeling very optimistic, yes? The market is getting hot. We're done with everything. Going forward, everything is going to be crazy. Then, what do you know? More talk about tariffs began on the 23rd when President Donald Trump said that taxes would be lowered on April 2nd. Now, this wasn't really a bad news because it was mostly about changing how tariffs are handled. A lot of people thought this was going to be a big change, which is also why the market went up the next day on the 24th. It looked like the market would do well. Then we heard more about the plan of action, which sounded like even more heavy tax talks. Even here in the US on the 26th today, Tesla shares fell because of worries about Trump's taxes and falling sales in Europe. To say it again, the market is worried. A lot of people who buy things are also worried about what will happen with taxes. All of a sudden, prices for items and services start to go up. It's not like all the good things that are happening with taxes don't happen right away. Everyone thinks this will be like an economy boom that happens quickly. Not at all. Tariffs hurt the economy at first before they start to help it. Right now, the market is very unstable. The difference between red and green days is now very clear. This is even more proof that the stock has been unstable all year, going up or down by at least 5% on 14 different days. Tesla is the only one. The stock market as a whole has been very unstable, which is also why crypto has been very unstable. Even if we only look at the last year of the crypto market cap, we can see that prices have been going down, but if you look closely at the last 30 days, we can see that there have been some pretty big jumps to the upside. After that, there is a big sell-off. Then things start to get better, but then more trade talks happen and we start to sell off again. Okay, so let's think about why, right? Since there is a lot of good news about the economy right now, why isn't XRP pumping? It's because of the trade war, which makes money in general less optimistic. The trade war is back, as we can see from the KBC letter. The markets think that Trump's April 2nd day of reciprocal tariffs will end all the confusion, but we think the opposite will happen. That's why tech stocks are down more than $400 billion this week. What's next? Rates have been pricing out tariff volatility for about a week now. As you will see below,